Morning, dear students. So in the previous class we had started with the separation of solid-solid mixture, and one of the method of the separation of solid-solid mixture we had completed. Today we have to start with another method of separation of solid-solid mixture, and this method is known as winnowing. Okay, so what is the principle for the process winnowing? Principle is here that there should be a difference in the weight of the constituents of mixture. So what does it mean? It means that one component of the mixture should be heavy and the other component of the mixture should be light. So what is the principle of winnowing? That there should be a difference in the weight of the constituents of mixture. Now what is the condition required for application of this method of separation of mixture? So the condition required over here is blowing wind. So when there will be blowing wind, then only you can apply this method of separation of mixture. Example of the mixture which can be separated by the process of winnowing is rice and husk. So tell me, which component is heavy? That is rice. And which component is light? That is husk. So there is the difference between the weight of the constituents of the mixture. So here in the pictorial form it is represented that blowing wind is there, and with the blowing wind the lighter component of the mixture will get separated away from the person who is doing the process of winnowing, and the heavier component will be collected just near the or just below where the process of winnowing is applied. Okay, you must have done or you must have seen in the farming fields in your in the rural areas where the persons are using this winnowing process for the separation of rice from the husk. So with the blowing wind, the lighter component will be taken away and the heavier component will be settling just below the person who is applying the process of winnowing. Okay, so this is how the heavy and the light component is separated. Next method of separation is magnetic separation. So what is the principle behind application of this process of separation? So the principle here is that there should be a difference in between the constituents of the mixture, and this difference should be the magnetic and non-magnetic property. So here the constituents of mixture, one of the constituents of the mixture should be magnetic and the other constituent of the mixture should be non-magnetic. Okay, so here this is magnetic and this is non-magnetic. Now what is the condition required to apply this method of separation? That is requirement of a magnet. Example of a mixture which can be separated by this method, that is iron and sulphur. Okay. Now in this diagram you observe that this is the mixture of iron and sulphur. We use a magnet. So which component of the mixture is magnetic? That is iron. So iron gets attracted from this mixture towards the magnet. Then what will be left in this dish? That is sulphur. So this is how with the application of magnet, iron and sulphur is separated, where iron is magnetic and sulphur is non-magnetic. So by magnetic separation we can separate the magnetic and non-magnetic substance from the mixture. Next method of separation of mixture is gravitational method. Okay, so what should be the principle here? Here is the principle that there should be a difference in the constituents of mixture as compared to water. So on the basis of water, one component of the mixture should be heavier than water and one component of mixture should be lighter than water. Okay, So when there will be difference in the weight of the constituents of the mixture as compared to water, we will apply which method of separation for the mixture? That is gravitational method. Here what is the condition required? That is water, and plus there should not be any physical disturbance to the apparatus while we are applying this method of separation. Then examples, sawdust and sand. So here sawdust is lighter than water and sand is heavier than water, and both these components can be separated by the gravitational method. Okay, so we take water in a beaker and we take the mixture of sawdust and sand. As we know, sand is heavy, so a gravitational pull will be acting on it, and the sand will settle down at the bottom of the beaker. Whereas sawdust is lighter than water, so it will remain floating on the surface of the water. So this is how these two components of the mixture is separated. Next methods of separation of solid-solid mixture we will continue in the next class. This is all for today. Thank you everyone.